कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रहम अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita every day, and we finished 14 slokas in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the three modes of material nature. In this chapter, we are understanding all about the three modes of material nature. Not only in this chapter, even in the coming chapters also, like especially the 17th chapter, full entire 17th chapter also, we are going to study about the three modes of material nature. And half of the 18th chapter also, in the first half of the 18th chapter also, Krishna is going to teach us a lot about the three modes of material nature. In the past also, several chapters we have already understood. Krishna mentioned many times about these three modes of nature. So basically, we are all controlled all the time by these three modes of nature. In other words, no one is free at any time. So that way, we are not independent. So we can celebrate Independence Day for the country, but for the soul, we cannot celebrate Independence Day. The soul is always bound inside this material body. The soul is always under the clutches of Maya, controlled by these three modes of material nature. So we need to achieve real independence from these three modes of nature. So that is the time for us to celebrate. Similarly, when our birthday comes, we are so happy. We celebrate. In fact, that is the time we need to really understand, we need to realize that we have taken birth in this temporary miserable world. That is not the day or time to celebrate. It's not like Krishna's birthday. When Krishna's birthday, Janmashtami comes, we can celebrate. Because Krishna came here to deliver us from this material world, to help us, to save us. But for us, we are forced to accept a material body. We are forced to struggle and suffer in this material world. So then what's the point in celebrating birthday? Also, we need to understand when our birthday is coming, we are actually getting closer to our death day. That is the point we need to understand. Same case with New Year also. When the New Year comes, there is a celebration, New Year Day celebration. So what's the point? New Year keeps coming, but at some point in our life, we won't be here to see the next New Year. When we die, that following New Year, we won't be here. So that way, we need to understand very well, all these things are all material things in this material world. So we should not be spending too much of time energy and everything focusing on these material things. We should celebrate only Krishna's birthday, Janmashtami. In fact, we should remember Krishna every day. Every day we should be connected with Krishna every moment, every moment. So that way our life will be actually fully Krishna conscious. We will be able to reach Krishna. We will be able to free ourselves from this material bondage. If we are able to establish that continuous connection with Krishna without any interruption, no disconnection. So continuous connection, no interruption. So that's what we should do. If we do that, then we will go to Krishna. We will be actually be able to get out of this material bondage. So then there is no more birthday to celebrate for us. And also there is no more death day. So all these things are going to be possible just with this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. That's it. By ourselves understanding this Bhagavad Gita fully as it is, as Krishna said, as Srila Prabhupada has given the title as it is. So, as Srila Prabhupada translated, as Krishna said, as Prabhupada translated. So, if we study and understand this Bhagavad Gita fully, completely, so then we are actually going to go to Krishna. So, that is guaranteed. Many times, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, asamsayam, many times, no doubt, we are going to go to Krishna. Mamaevaisasi, you will come to me. Asamsayam, there is no doubt you will come to me. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So, that way, we need to take this opportunity and study and understand Bhagavad Gita fully, completely, follow what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So, then liberation is assured for us. Liberation from this material world is definitely on our way. Then we can declare independence. That is a real independence declaration. Then we can celebrate. So that is the real celebration. That we are freeing ourselves from this material bondage. That we are freeing ourselves from the clutches of Maya. Freeing ourselves from this entanglement, material entanglement. So at that point of time, we can actually celebrate. We can enjoy. So that should be the goal of our life. Right now, we are actually suffering with this body because of birth, old age, disease, and death. We are suffering, struggling, suffering in this material world. We need to get out of this mess. We need to fight with our enemy and we need to conquer our enemy. So Jahi Satru, that's what Krishna is asking us. Jahi Satru. Jahi Satru means conquer your enemy. That's what Krishna is telling us. Jahi Satru Mahabahu Kamarupam Durashava. So the Kamarupam, which is uncontrollable, which is very difficult to win over. So Kamarupam Durasava. By what? By controlling your mind, by making your mind as your best friend, you conquer this enemy. That's what Krishna is teaching us. Evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhyatmanam atmanaga. So by controlling your mind, by bringing the mind under the control of the self, so then you conquer your enemy. Jahi Satru Mahabahu. If we keep our mind itself as our enemy, then how can we conquer our enemy, which is Kama? That is our enemy, Kama. Kama Yesha, Krodha Yesha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaga, Mahashana Mahapapma, Vidyena Miha, Vairinam. You understand that this is Vairi, your enemy. So Kama and Krodha, they are our enemies. Kama Yesha, Krodha Yesha, Rajoguna Samudbhava. So they are produced from the Rajoguna. So how can we conquer these enemies? if we don't keep our mind as our best friend. First of all, we need to make our mind as our best friend, then only we can conquer our enemy. So we need to control our mind and make our mind as our best friend. So then, with the help of the mind, we can actually conquer this enemy. That's what evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhyatmanam atmanaga. So we need to control our mind and keep our mind as our best friend. That is possible only with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That is possible only by focusing our mind on Krishna, by thinking about Krishna. Manas samyamya mat chitto. You control your mind by thinking about me, by focusing your mind on me. That's what Krishna is saying. Manas samyamya mat chitto. So if we focus our mind on Krishna, we can control our mind. So then with that controlled mind, we can actually conquer our enemy. So that is kama. Kama and krodha. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajoguna samudbha. So that way we can free ourselves from the rajoguna. If we conquer our mind by focusing our mind on Krishna, so that way our mind has no time to think about material sense objects. So that way we are not coming under the control of the rajoguna. So that way we are not forced to work in this material way. We are not bound to work. There is no bondage to work. So that means there is no karma bandha. When we study Bhagavad Gita and think about Krishna and focus everything, do everything for Krishna, so that's what is going to happen. There is no karma bandha. When there is no karma bandha, then there is no janma bandha also. Because when we don't have to work anything, when we are freed from the rajoguna, that means of course we are freed from the tamoguna also. Because only with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita only we can free ourselves from the rajoguna. That means we can control our mind. So that means when we are freed from the tamoguna and rajoguna, so there is the mode of ignorance and mode of passion. So then automatically we will be elevated to the mode of goodness. So then with the mode of goodness, when we are bound to this knowledge, so jnana sangyena, so then when we are bound to this knowledge, when we practice this knowledge, when we follow this Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna is teaching us, so then we will be able to elevate ourselves from all the three modes of natures, free ourselves from the three modes of nature. So that way we are ready to go to Krishna as well. So our mind will become our best friend. So when our mind is controlled that way, by studying this Bhagavad Gita, by focusing everything on Krishna, so then by Krishna's causeless mercy, we are actually ready to go to Krishna's well, Goloka. So that kind of opportunity we have got by studying this Bhagavad Gita, by practicing this Bhagavad Gita, by following. So we need to take this very seriously. Of course, we are doing it. That's why we are studying Bhagavad Gita every day. And we need to follow what Krishna says very clearly. So that also we will do. There is no doubt about it. Because we believe in Krishna. We like Krishna. We love Krishna. We want to serve Krishna. We want to always be with Krishna. So Krishna is everything for us. So when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is everything for us, and when we do everything for Krishna, so that way Krishna is also doing everything for us. So that way we are parasparam serving, that is parasparam, that is mutually serving each other. So that way we are serving Krishna and Krishna is serving us. So that way we will actually be always happy, always happy. No need to worry, no need to think about anything, no need to worry about anything. So just fully depend on Krishna in all circumstances, completely depend on Krishna and do everything for Krishna. Then by Krishna's causeless mercy, we are going to go to Krishna's well, Goloka. This is the great chance for us. We have got it. Because it's very rare to get this opportunity actually. Only 1 in 1,000 will endeavor for perfection. We already studied in the 7th chapter, in the 3rd shloka we studied. Manushyanam sahasresu kaschit yatati siddhi. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvada. So, of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. That's what Krishna is saying. So, we are all endeavoring for perfection. We all have faith on Krishna. So, we are only 1 in 1,000. So, that's what we need to understand. So, we are that much fortunate we got this opportunity to serve Krishna, to please Krishna. So, now we need to make use of this opportunity and study Bhagavad Gita again and again all the time and keep memorizing all the slokas and also spread this message to everyone and make devotees everywhere. So that way our life will be full of Krishna consciousness. All the time we will be in Krishna consciousness. So then we are freed. Actually, we are liberated from this material modes of nature. In this chapter itself, we are going to study and understand towards the end. Krishna is going to teach us very nicely, very clearly, how one can get rid of the 3 modes of material nature. So always we need to be in contact with Krishna only. We should never forget Krishna. That's why always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. All the time we should remember Krishna only. So Krishna is everything in our life. So chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is a very important activity in our life. And making prasadam and offering to Krishna is very, very important in our life. Daily doing that. So these things, if we are able to do every day very nicely, if we are able to spend this time, energy, effort, whatever we have got, all these things, if we are able to utilize in the service of Krishna, so then our life is going to be so much blissful, so much happy. We will enjoy. Because there is no time to worry about anything. And also there is no need to worry about anything. No need to fear about anything. Masuchaka, do not fear, do not worry. I will take care of. That's what Krishna is saying. Kaunteya pratijani name bhaktaga pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee will never perish. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have got that kind of opportunity to study this Bhagavad Gita. So we are making progress. In the 14th chapter, we are studying about all these 3 modes of nature, how they are produced and what their effects are, and what is going to happen when we die in each mode of nature. So those things we are studying now. And we understand sometimes the mode of goodness is predominant, some other times the mode of patience, some other times the mode of ignorance. And the mode of goodness binds one to happiness, whereas the mode of patience binds one to work. And the mode of ignorance binds one to madness. So that's what we study. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajaga karmani bharata jnanamavrityatu tamaga pramade sanjayatyuta. So this tamoguna binds on to madness. So when we study this Bhagavad Gita, we are studying Bhagavad Gita by Krishna's causeless mercy. So when we serve Krishna, then we are known as bhaktas, the devotees of Krishna. So at that point of time, whatever we do it for Krishna, we don't have to worry about. We are not forced. That is the main thing. We need to understand one important point here, that when we decide to serve Krishna, we are not under force. There is our willing, because we are properly using our free will and we are serving Krishna. So that is, we are doing it ourselves, not under force. That is the real thing we are doing. We are not under force to do that when we serve Krishna. But in this material world, anything we do forgetting Krishna, always under force, always under the control of the modes of nature. That way, without worrying about the future, without worrying about anything, we should do all the time everything only for Krishna. So that way we will be able to achieve Krishna by Krishna's causeless mercy. So in the 14th chapter, we finished 14 slokas. So in the 14th sloka, what we studied, Krishna taught us about what will happen at the time of death if we are in Sattva Guna. So where will we go? When we are in Sattva Guna, where will we go? So that's what Krishna taught. And today in the 15th sloka, we are going to study and understand about when we die in the mode of patience, where will we go? The Rajoguna. Or if we die in the mode of ignorance, Tamoguna, where will we go? So all such things we are going to study. So Krishna said that in the 14th chapter, 14th sloka, Krishna taught us, Yada sattve pravriddethu pralayam yati deha brith tadottama vidam lokan amalan pratipatyate. So if we die in the mode of goodness, so we reach the pure and higher planets. That's what Uttama. Uttama is higher planets. Amalan means the pure. Uttama Vidam Lokan, Amalan, the pure planet. So where the pious people live. But of course, we'll go and enjoy there and then we'll come back here. Then what happens when we die in the mode of passion and ignorance? So in the next sloka, in the sloka number 15, Krishna is teaching us in the 14th chapter. Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tatha pralinas tamasi mudayonishu jayate. Rajasi pralayam gatva. So when we die in the mode of passion, then karma sangishu jayate. Then we will be forced to work. We will be bound to work. So that's what karma. So that's what this karma sangishu, karma sangena, all those things is because of the rajoguna. If we are in the rajoguna, we are forced to work. We are all the time working. And whereas if we die in the mode of ignorance, Krishna is saying that they will go to Muda Yonishu Jayate. So Srila Prabhupada translated Muda means it's full. So full is life, full is bodies. So Krishna is translating the Muda Yonishu means the animal species. So basically the animal kingdom. So because they cannot think like a human being, so they cannot do anything. So that way we will be downgrading ourselves from the human body to the animal bodies if we die in the mode of ignorance. And also we will go to hellish planets. So that's what is going to happen. So it will take us to hellish planets. So whereas if we die in the mode of Rajoguna, we will be again bound to work, forceful work, all such things. If we die in the mode of goodness, so already we studied yesterday that we will go to the planets where the higher pure planets and enjoy there. And even though we enjoy there, but it's temporary, we'll come back here. It's temporary, Sukhalaya. It is temporary, it is Anityam, Sukham Lokam. So it is Sasvatam, it is Asasvatam. Sukhalayam, Asasvatam. So whereas in the Rajoguna, if you go, it is Dukkhalayam, Asasvatam. In the Tamoguna also like that. But if we actually free ourselves from all the gunas, then we will go to Sukhalayam Sasvatam. Sukhalayam Sasvatam means the happy place, permanently blissful place. That's what Sukhalayam Sasvatam, Krishna's abode. So that's what we should go. By Krishna's mercy, we should go there. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we successfully studied in the 14th chapter, 15th sloka. When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. So that's what we understand. So of course, we need to free ourselves from all the gunas, and we should actually die without control by any modes of nature. So then we will go to Krishna's abode. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have finished the 14th chapter, 15th sloka. So we'll chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra now, one round, because we want to die by remembering Krishna. When we die, we want to remember Krishna only. So we want to chant Hare Krishna all the time. So that way we can remember Krishna. So now